Hello, hi guys. Hopefully, um, this is my first time trying to stream with, restream. So hopefully the Twitch stream is live as well. It's not really showing that way on my end, but it looks like, uh, okay, so sorry about that. Also, that was a little bit of, I think I had turned on the audio on on both ends, so to speak. I just wanted to make sure that the microphone is working. Hey, Graham, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? And yeah, unfortunately, like I'm trying to check out Twitch. Apparently, Twitch works as well, so that's good. Um, and it looks like the comments are coming in through Restream, so that's even better. Thank you, Graham. And yeah, so let's get to it. I do still have like a couple of tabs open for YouTube and Twitch just to check. But so far so good. I think the only thing that kind of not necessarily bugs me, but there is like the watermark with Restream on the top right corner, and apparently as to get rid of that is something that you have to pay, and it seems like it's not that cheap for Restream. And oh man, so I'm gonna turn off one of the streams. It kind of came in like the audio was coming in on Twitch, I think, so I just closed that tab. So hopefully that didn't like do too much damage on your end. But anyways, so that seems to be working. And welcome to a little bit of a later stream than usual. But yeah, so let's get into some of the updates. You'll see that some like the area that we were working on last week got a little bit more finessed, so to speak. There's a couple of more things that have been added in just to kind of finish it off. Of course, this is like going to be like an entrance that you can't really go in through like the front door as you would think. Hey, crazy guy, welcome, welcome. Hey, how you doing? But and mostly just because as you've mentioned in the past, there's kind of these bad guys that they're not gonna allow you to like go um, through through certain areas, so you kind of have to find another way to get there, and so that's what I'm gonna try and work on during this stream. One of them is already in place. It's a little bit hard to get to, but I can quickly show you. Hey, crazy guy. So, how big is your game world in kilometers? So I think effectively, you can see like I think you can see like where the roads are. So those kind of delimit the playable area for this. So it's kind of like from here on this corner, all the way up to here, this little forested area down to the dam over here and back through here. I would say it's about 2 by 2 kilometers of all navigable areas. And of course, there's going to be some like underground areas as well, like for example, the dam area, like the mine area, the cave. So that's I'm not going to add that. If you think about it, it's like a multi-story house, right? You got like an upstairs, a downstairs. So you still do, I don't I mean you can calculate that area as well, but yeah, if you look at just the landscape, that's about 2 by 2 kilometers, so not very big, but yeah, so as I was saying, there's a couple of ways to get inside the dam, and so one of them is through this kind of top hatch here, and I'll kind of take you through it a little bit. But that's a little bit harder to get to. It's less combat, or like less kind of danger, so to speak, but it is a little bit, and yeah, it's through this forest, which I'm gonna cut. But you kind of have to go, take this path that takes you down through here, and down through here, around here, where again I need to resimulate everything, and you kind of end up, oops, my bad. So you kind of end up, let me see, where did I put it? Yeah, so like you kind of come down onto this main road here. So this would be like a path drawn out. So this would be like the other alternative, which is, like less combat, but it's a little bit more, more walking to do. And but once you get up top, kind of up top at the dam, from here, you can like, and I'm gonna try and like work a little bit slower, but you'll be able to go down through this kind of like ventilation shaft type of thing, and down through here. I try to make it like kind of a tight space type of thing. Um, then down through here and down the stairs over here. This is kind of just another some maintenance areas. You can take this elevator down. Of course, you can also like opt to go down the stairs, but take down the elevator all the way down to here. So I just need to connect this into into this area here, which is like the main dam area. And in here, you've probably seen this in the past. There's like I do need to do some actually post-process volume fixes. They're just a little bit too bright. And this is the rest of the dam that you've seen in the past, with some access to, some maintenance areas down here. And of course, there's like the main dam entrance here, which takes you all the way to the parking lot. So that's why, I don't want you to like just go straight through here, and that's why I got this guy that's just gonna, end you as soon as it sees you. Hey, thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a process to get this map created, and but yeah, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, today I was planning to do a little bit of testing. Like I said, to create the other entrance, which would be, in the last stream we've put all these fencing around this area. So there'll be like a little bit of a cut in the fence where you'll be able to sneak in. So once you get down here, I was testing earlier with a couple of NPCs, like enemy NPCs, so you can take them out, and or kind of do a little bit of a sneak and then go through down here. I've started off with this one on this side, but then I decided to move it a little bit closer to here because it was kind of a little bit extra to walk. And so from here, once you're down in this tunnel, like kind of this utility tunnel, so to speak, you still have a little bit to walk until you get here. So that's what I'm planning to work on during this stream, is kind of set up this utility tunnel to connect into the dam area, and one of the kind of utility closets, utility rooms type of zone. Hand planted all your stuff or use PCG. So I'm using everything is procedural, but I'm not using PCG. It's just the procedural foliage tool. And when it comes to the landscape grasses, this is all um, just um, landscape grass. It's really what it is. The the landscape material itself has a node which you can plug in a bunch of landscape grass. I'm not sure what you call them, but you can supply like all your grass meshes that you like to have on here. Hey Graham, what GPU are you running? I am running a 1070. It's uh, I don't even know how old it is. 8, 9 years old. Um, so I assume it could only run better if it's a better CPU or GPU. But this is also an area that it's not that heavy. Once if I was to get into like the town area, right now it's pretty unoptimized. So, um, and of course, it might run even better, but I still have, as usual, like a bunch of tabs open and like some browser windows as well. So I think we can like squeeze a little bit more out of this if some of these things are closed. Yeah, so you can see like it definitely gets better, and I think it might be even better once it's built, But again, having multiple tabs open, that usually takes quite a bit of toll on performance. So yeah, let's jump into game mode real quick. I just wanted to show you how how this guy behaves, this enemy, and just how you're not gonna be able to get past it. Yeah, you know what? It's still running pretty good. I was playing, um, I think the most recent game, I mentioned it in a past stream. One of the um, more recent games that I'm playing right now or I'm trying to play, um, is Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, and that is I'm running it on low, like everything low, and I'm barely going. I'm around 20 or 30 FPS. So yeah. So yeah, let's take a quick look at how this guy is doing. And I still haven't done like a detection mechanism on it, so you can tell that you're being seen. But that should be it's going to be pretty easy to add that. But let's say you kind of going through this, going this way, right? So, whew, so it's going to be quick. Like you will find out, the F around and find out this is what's going to happen if you close in on one of those guys. Oh, I was thinking you was on a 47 or 80. No, no. I still want to be on the 1070 just so that I can gauge a little bit better the performance target that I'm trying to get. Because I think if I'm getting like around 40 on a 1070 on high settings, I think a 4070, like 4070 or just a 4070, I think it's like it's like twice as good as the 1070. And once you go into like 4080, 4090, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be running so much better. But yeah, I still want to keep the 1070 just to use it as a gauge for performance. All right, so yeah, we can go that way basically. So yeah, let's try and get this one here, so that like I said, you kind of go through this basement entrance, and you kind of just follow it along into the dam. Right now it's just I've kind of like rotated this around, so yeah, all these blocking boxes here are a mess, and but we'll get to fixing these and hopefully make them navigable for starters, and then hopefully we can apply some materials and dress it up. Sound this area is restricted, don't cross. Um, well, so you're already in a restricted area. Once you get inside this this dam like maintenance type of area, you're already in a restricted area. Um, the safe zones are only going to be the zones that are let me see if I can move a little quicker. Yeah, so you can see like once I approach this busy area, the performance drops quite a bit. But basically, the safe zones are only going to be like these zones in town. So you got zone 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this is like the place where there's not going to be enemies for starters, and and you're also this is like the area where you'll interact with the friendly NPCs. So these are non-combat type of zones. Everything outside of that is combat, so you're not going to be like, uh, um, you know, you're going to be able to to do whatever. But yeah, those military vehicles, those military trucks, you're not going to be able to do anything about. So that's why they're placed in these areas. So you're not, you'll if you do the first time, the first interaction, you'll learn, and you're not going to do it again. Um, and yeah, crazy guy. That's a great idea as well. It's I mean, I'm definitely gonna put something on these fences, just kind of, keep out kind of caution type of thing. Oh, thank you, Graham. Thank you so much. All right, well, let's get into it. The first thing that I want to do is, and thank you, th kind of another. I keep bringing this up, but one big reason for streaming is I learned from one of you guys the use of the modeling tool in inside the engine. So apologies about that. I think I might have hit my microphone. But right now, you see like I have a piece of just a piece like this is just a regular flat cube kind of thing where this asphalt is. So I've been playing a little bit more with the modeling tools just to, really just cut an opening in this cube rectangular piece so that you can like actually go through. So let's do that. I'm not sure if I can. This is a little bit off to the side, so I'm just going to use another. This was just for testing type of things. But let's try and find another one of these pieces. I'm hoping to find the actual rectangle that I used before. Bear with me for 1 second. While I look for that, I'm gonna need to fly around a little bit, and actually, because this is the piece that I want to get, and oops, everything is in between in one level, so I need to edit this real quick. Oh yeah, yeah, crazy guy, of course. So the story starts like this. And actually, let me just copy this out so I can at least take you through the, yeah, this is what I wanted to get, this asphalt mesh. All right. So I can take you kind of from the start of the game, and because that hopefully that kind of will make sense. So basically, at the start of the game, you you kind of come into this world like many other games through with an airplane, and so that is let's kind of just look at it real quick. All right, so the plane is going to fly on. If you hopefully you can read or you can see like the little, not sure how big this is, but you basically start by going into this world looking for a couple of friends that you haven't heard from in a while. And the plane itself will have like you'll be able to like move the camera around inside the plane, and there's going to be like a little bit of chat coming from the player, just to describe the people that you're looking for. And there's going to be like a little bit of a Polaroid attached to the plane dashboard. So you're coming into this world to look for these two friends of yours that you haven't heard from in a while, and they're kind of disappeared or to you. And so you fly along the spline, right? So this is kind of how the flight is going to go. And so, oh, great. That's not a good that's not a good sign. But yeah, so let me jump back in. Apologies for that. Sometimes Unreal, it's Unreal. But so you're going to fly your plane. And again, you can only look side to side. You're not going to be able to like really fly it in a way of, if you think of Far Cry, you're not going to be able to fly the plane like that. So you fly the plane flies following this path, and hopefully once this loads again, um, so it flies along the path. Um, a little bit about a quarter in, there's yeah, 5.5. It's I don't know what they're doing, but sometimes it does this. And so as you fly along the flight path along this line, somebody's going to shoot at you. It's basically like kind of a turret machine gun, just like the ones that you see on these military trucks, right? And then the plane is going to, start smoking, sparks are flying. So the plane is going to start crashing, all right? And during the crash, it's kind of like a control crash, right? So it's like gliding down, so to speak, but it keeps going along this path. And there's like beeping sounds, the smoke, it's a little bit, I wouldn't say chaotic, but just to signify the crash. And along the spline, you'll encounter like 3 points where you can jump out of the airplane. So once you jump out of the airplane, you fall to the ground, you pass out, and that's when the game starts. And depending on the point where you choose to jump out of the airplane, the game starts with a few different missions at the beginning, right? So, for example, in the, um, the location where I plan to have the demo start at, you're gonna have to rescue this one guy that's being held hostage. And once you rescue him, he's gonna start, kind of helping you with the missions, the beginning of the game. And from there, it's gonna guide you into getting into town, how to get into town, for you to get more details on your friends, to find your friends. And so I'm just going to open these because it's been a lot of these related to AI, and I hate to have to go back and open them up again. So once you get into town, you're going to start getting more missions, and they're eventually going to link together into you know you finding your friends. And yeah, so the reason, these bad guys have like kind of, put the people of the town, of the people of these areas into these, they put them into everybody into the town, and they split the town into these zones, which for you are safe zones. There's no enemies in those zones, and you're going to be able to interact with the different NPCs that they're going to give you missions. And using like zip lines, the tunnel, um, different ways to get between like these zones, so you can reach other NPCs and talk to them, and they're going to give you missions either within the zones or outside of these zones. Like, for example, the one that we're working on right now, to get to the dam and turn on the power. For example, that's one of those, that would be one of those missions. And so as you progress through the story, they're gonna help you to get a hold of your friends. And like I said, depending on where you jump out of the airplane, the beginning missions for the game are going to be different. But in the end, they're all going to kind of join into the same thread. But yeah, I wanted to have different jump locations, so you kind of start the game with different things to do, right? Maybe a little bit of give a little bit of variety along the way. So let me see now. I'm not gonna fly the airplane just so that it doesn't crash. I'm not sure why it did it. It never crashed like that before, so apologies for that crash. I don't know why that um, it didn't like something as I was maybe it didn't like something as I was moving the actor on that spline. It, that could be. All right, so yeah, let me go back to, and I'm just gonna follow along with the camera for now. Yeah, so you follow along this path. This is kind of the main base of the bad guys, this chemical industrial plant. So there's gonna be like a turret, like I said, shooting at you. Uh, Plane kind of goes up in smoke, and you keep on flying along the spline path, and along this there's going to be those points where you can jump out. The path itself is not really in its final position, but something that I'm working on. But like I said, the first the fall point that's going to be in the demo, it's going to be the one at the end. So basically you just fall down, you pass out, you get up, and as you can see, all these zones where you're going to fall into, they're going to be like a funnel in a way. So I don't want the player to start just going like right at the start of the game, the player to just start going all over the place, right? So I want to kind of direct them into this area here. And you'll see this guy, kind of being taken hostage by one of the bad guys. There's going to be a couple of more that are going to be patrolling. So this is your first opportunity to do like a stealth takedown. You take down, this is just a spawner for the enemies. You do a takedown for this guy, um, then your friendly NPC is gonna get up, kind of getting out of his hostage situation. But after that, there's going to be another enemy patrolling around here. So you'll be able to interact and pick up your first weapon, which is this bow and, some arrows, and you'll be able to take this guy out. So the first mission would be for you, you're going to interact with this guy, and he's going to give you your first mission, which is to rescue his wife, which is going to be held over here. Whoops. At the motel, like right here in this parking lot. As you can see, there's a couple of more spawners for enemies, so you're going to have to take those out, take those guys out, rescue his wife, and kind of bring her back to him over here. And then he's going to give you a little bit more details on how you can get into town. And the way you're going to be able to get into town, since everything is fenced in, there's like a little bit of an entry point through here, through the sewers. So once you get into the sewers, you'll be able to follow the sewers along, and it's getting a little dark here. So, but once you follow the sewers around, you'll be able to get out into zone one, and into zone one, you'll be able to interact. I just kind of placed them over here for reference, but you'll be able to interact with the next NPC that's gonna help you out with a few more missions. And there's a few more NPCs that are going to be kind of placed around these interior buildings. Like some of them are going to be around here, and also where is it? Whoops, somewhere and around here. Oh, come on, really? I think it's this never happened with I'm not sure if it's probably not Restream related, but I've never had these many crashes when I was just straight on streaming to YouTube. Like I wasn't even doing anything complicated, but which is weird. This is where kind of the 1070 is showing its age, between the streaming and this world. Uh, like I said, it's odd. Not sure if it's a coincidence, but um, yeah. What's my timeline to complete the game with full story? It's definitely going to take a little bit longer. Yeah, Unreal sucks sometimes. Like you can say it's Unreal, but I think it's gonna take me a little bit longer. The only thing is, I was able to maybe half a year back or so, I was able to have a little bit better of a timeline, um, just kind of planning around work as well. Unfortunately, lately we've lost a couple of members of my team, so from six programmers, we're now four, and that has kind of translated into, as you'd expect, more work and a little bit less time, after hours or in the weekends. I still, at least I get the weekends, but a little bit less time to focus on this, unfortunately. But that's life. So a little bit harder to plan now, but I think at least a year, I would say, for the game with the full story. I'm hoping within, at least for this summer to have the demo. That's what I'm trying to work as hard as I can towards. And because that would be, performance testing and navigation testing. All the areas are going to be available to navigate. Of course, there's not going to be any kind of story related things, but there's going to be like the enemy combat, the some NPC interactions, a few of the kind of starter missions. But yeah, I definitely, my plan is definitely to have that out this summer at the latest, hopefully in autumn, in the fall. But um, but yeah, hopefully nothing. Like I said, it kind of revolves around life, and as it's part-time type of thing, anyways. It's uh, it's hard sometimes. But I'm still working towards it. So, but thank you so much for the question. All right, let's see. Third time's a charm. I'm gonna try and just keep it simple or not do too much. I really don't know why that is. Like I've never had a crash twice in a stream, or at least not that I can remember. And I was doing some kind of like more of a not just like flying around. And so that one was a little frustrating to see those crashes. Like I said, I don't think it's anything to do with your Restreamer, but it is just it just happened um, when I when I used Restream to do Twitch and YouTube. So yeah, it's we'll see the next time. I'm gonna use Restream again next time, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it works out okay. Or I mean, it's working out okay, for streaming. But again, I'm not entirely sure what happened with these two crashes. But yeah, Crazy Guy. Hopefully that gives you an idea of what the game itself is about. Yeah. So let's see. It's taking a little bit longer because I am literally loading everything in the game right now. So maybe I should be hiding uh, some of the some of the stuff here. All right. Well, let's get into this. I unfortunately I also it also closed wherever that thing was. Let's see if I can find it again. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. It is the main reason um, I wanted to, because I this is what I play, right? I play single player story first person shooters. This is kind of the types of games that I play, and I wanted to make a game that's like that, basically. So hopefully it'll be uh, enjoyable for folks. And but like I said, this is what I like to play. So in the end, that's what I'm trying to make. All right, let's take a look at as I was saying. All right. I'm gonna try and do a quick save. Yeah, okay. So now let's cut a opening in this concrete ground, so you can like the player can go through it. I've already addressed the collision for this kind of basement opening, and we'll see how you can like walk around and like get through down here. Yeah, I mean, you know how it is. Sometimes, beauty, like what do they say? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder or something like that. And um, so that's, my hope is that people will enjoy it as much as I hope I will as well. All right. Well, the first thing that I need to do is I need to, let's use this as, because I need a second mesh to do the, to use it as a kind of a cutting tool, right? And so I'm gonna try and get this one in here and make it about that size. I hope it allows me, sometimes it doesn't allow you with, but I think this is a mesh, so I think it's gonna be, I hope it's gonna work. All right, so I just want to make sure that this is going through the object that I'm cutting. So now I'm just going to select this one and this one in selection mode, modeling. And in here, like on the deform, not deform, but model, you have a Boolean. And so there it goes. So it creates like an opening. And then we just need to cut a hole in the terrain as well. And let's do what I wanted to say. I'm going to write to a new object. And let's do an accept here. And there you go. We have the new object, and it's called Boolean, but let's try and rename it to something else. Dam entrance ground. Okay. And let's get into the terrain now. And we're going to sculpt on visibility. So there's the opening right there. Gonna need to, oh, one thing that I kind of brought this up in the past, but if you have, um, like in my case, as you can see here, uh, f- I've painted through, great. It might be actually just an uh, expired or like an old driver. Yeah, so if you have like landscape grasses like I have here, and you paint the visibility layer, you're not going to be able to paint them out. So the terrain has to be visible. So I'm going to have to go back in here, and it's also like when you paint the visibility back on, it's only painted. Oops, I didn't want to do that. It's only painted with the fall off for the brush. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but yes, I wanted to paint this stuff back in so that I can kind of paint out the grass. So let's just go to about there. And now if I go back and I just paint dirt, because dirt doesn't have grass applied to it, now I can do a little bit better job at painting the visibility layer. So let's go back into sculpting. And there we go. And now I can also just kind of sculpt this down. Yeah, it's a little bit of a pain to sculpt around the visibility. Not entirely sure why they made it so difficult, but at least that's my experience. Not sure if anybody else has had this kind of troubles, so to speak. Let's actually use a flatten. So I'm gonna pick the target here. Oops, that was, it could be a little bit lower. 1450 maybe. There we go. Just to have this, okay. So now we have the opening created. Let's jump in and see how the player can get around. All right, yes, I know we have a couple of tasks that are broken. So yeah, main thing I wanted to check is that the player can, um, navigate this opening. Oh, and what I forgot actually is setting up the proper collision for this mesh. So my apologies. I'm just gonna jump out and do that real quick. Yeah, so originally I had the entrance be, on this side. Sorry about that. But it felt like, there was a little bit too much extra walk that you had to do. Even from here, it's a little bit of a trek. So, to there. So I wanted to not make it too frustrating, like you have to walk. Oh my God, this is like a walking simulator type of thing. All right, so in here for this guy, I wanted it to. Oh, and I do have some layers open. Not sure if those were causing any issues. So for this guy, I can just um, set the collision. Where is it? To use complex is simple. So now if we go back in here and we turn on to see the player collision, I hope to be able to see down in there. And it doesn't seem like the ground collision is shown properly, but yeah, whenever there's like an opening, you should be able to go through it. Oh my God. What is happening? Like these are some errors that I've never seen before. It seems like everything is related to direct 3D type of stuff. And of course, I don't even know, whenever you send those, they probably get lumped together into with a bunch of other errors people are sending. But man, this was like the third crash. Wow. I'm actually curious right now if coming from Twitch, if there's anybody on Twitch watching the stream, uh, to be honest. Unless, so I see there's one person, unless that one person is me. You can switch RHA. Yeah, so that's a great question, with the RHA, with the DirectX 11. So first, these crashes are very unusual. Like I've never had, especially even during the stream, I've never had more than one crash, I think. So Mike, right now I'm on DirectX 12. I did notice a much better performance using DirectX 12 than 11. That's the main reason that I'm using DirectX 12. And going forward, I think they might just deprecate DirectX 11. So yeah, that's why I wanted to just target DX12. Uh, like I said, I've never had this crash happening these many times. Um, or and they're not like this. It didn't seem like they were like the same error in the crash. So I don't know. Again, I'm not entirely sure if it's restream related type of crash or what it could be, but I don't think I've ever had it crash more than once or twice at the most with just streaming to one platform. So I don't know. I'm gonna try and not open these asset editors. Not sure if that how much of an impact that does. But yeah, let's try this one more time. If it does crash again, then it just might be not my day, or um, and yeah, we'll see. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, so that I mean, even with 1070 being, you know, I'm not sure. I think it could be considered, at least nowadays, it's a mid to low end video card. But but like I said, it runs everything slower than most others. I was t talking about Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Beautiful game. It looks gorgeous, but yeah, it can't handle. I mean, my 1070 can't handle it, but I've never had crashes. And even during my development, um, I think this week I must have had at least 20 hours worth of development, and it only crashed once. But now that these three in a row, within like this short of a time frame, they were a little bit kind of what? So we'll see. Maybe next stream I'll try and just do it on YouTube. I see there's not there isn't anybody coming from Twitch, at least not at the moment. Um, yeah, and that's the thing, the memory being exhausted, I always get that message. Let me just not open all these tabs. So the memory being exhausted, yeah, I get that, but I can't remember if I'm getting that when I run the um, when I was running it with DX11. But that's something that I'm gonna take a look and give that a try. All right, so things running quite a bit better without all those tabs open. Let's see how long this is gonna work. All right, so let's jump into game and I'll test um, test the collisions and see how that goes. All right, so usually it takes about 10-15 seconds to jump in. There we go. Whoops, no, I didn't want to start a fist fight with anybody. All right, so let's go this way. So as you can see, like the turret is seeing me right now. I'm just not close enough for it to like start shooting at me. All right, so let's see. Oh, come on. Did I not save the collision for this guy? Yeah, see, like right now that message is not showing up anymore. Um, Sometimes I think it might be related to how many tabs you have open, but all right, okay, yeah. So I don't think I think it's I didn't save the collision properly. All right, so let's take a look at this. All right. One thing that's interesting, like whenever I jump into game mode, there's this extra road spline mesh that's being shown up over here. I'm not entirely sure how that happens, but it's some oddity going on. All right, so let's get into let's see if this one works now. There we go. So we are under the map at the moment, and what I'm gonna do is, you're gonna turn the corner, and then you're gonna be heading down this corridor, and we'll see how far of a walk this is going to be. Hopefully, I don't want to keep it. I don't want to make it, like you have to walk half the map to get to that. But yeah, let's continue on with this block out and see how things shape up. We'll be adding some lighting along the way, and yeah, let's do this. All right, so you're coming down. You're going down the steps down through here. All right, so you're gonna turn the corner. You're not gonna be able to go, back there, but let's try and at least cover this. All right, so you are going to go around that. See how big we want to make this one here. So this is definitely like the fun part of the work, I would say. Like the level building is always a lot of fun. All right, so that's going to be kind of that way. And actually, I wanted to go back to these being at a 90-degree angle here. I've been using some of these kind of these angles a little bit, and at least down in this, I don't want to overuse them. So this would be kind of the floor that we're gonna build things on. There's this, a little bit of a vent area there. I am going to want to make this one. Yeah, for whatever reason, I'm not sure why sometimes, whenever you have something selected, performance kind of drops for some reasons unknown. I'm just gonna try and use this as a kind of the ceiling for this area. Like that. Yeah, we'll try and gonna try and make this work with the opening where you coming in through. It's kind of right there. And this is the ground itself. Okay. Oops, and I kind of pushed this out a little too much. There we go. All right, so you're going to be coming down here. Down the steps, turn the corner, and then we're going to be heading over to the dam, or like the interior of it. All right, and this one is not being used. Oh, actually, this is the floor for this, and so that can stay there for now. Also, along the way, I want to make a couple of kind of level change, or I wouldn't say it I wouldn't call them elevation changes, but I'm going to try and make this a little smaller, so hopefully I can show you what I mean. Still too large. Just so that it's not, everything is not entirely flat where you're heading or like where you're walking. So, you're going to head on down this way. Then there's going to be another set of stairs. And let's take a look. Flip this around to add it somewhere around here. That's pretty much the main reason that I'm trying to keep things at a 90-degree angle, just, 90, 90, 90 kind of thing. All right, let's see. So that would be one set of stairs. Another thing that I wanted to add here, just some, I forgot I should be saving a little bit more often with these crashes. So let's add some railings over here. Now I'm just going to use something that's a little bit simpler. This would be like a little bit of a opening kind of area. But as you're coming down, down in here, so that would be like the level right below it. And this is the terrain. So let's see, we are actually pretty close. The one thing that, the ground itself is coming up onto this, on the side of this cliff here, right? So let's see if I was to hide these just to kind of give you a little bit of a better idea, right? So we're coming here. This is where our, I did not want to delete that. Yeah, so see, interestingly enough, now it starts to show. So I don't really know how that's being calculated. Like it just runs out of memory like that. But the more things that it needs to load, and right now, again, everything is loaded into the world. And maybe I shouldn't have that being done during the stream, but so I'm thinking here, in order for me to not have to cut through the terrain, which I'm gonna have to do on this side anyways. But I think here, what I could try and do is just go in here and just flatten this out about where my path is going to be. So I'm going to keep this here and just try to be somewhat gentle with this so that I'm not pulling too much down from the top. And let me reduce the fall off and try and keep it a little tight here, kind of like this. So as you can see, I'm not like this vertical area here, I'm not pulling it down, or at least not too much. All right, so now this part should just go under the ground. There you go. That's quite all right. Okay, and we are getting close to accessing the dam area, like the actual structure under the dam. All right. So let's place one more of these over here. And we're just going to try and get it like that. Lighting this area is going to be fun as well. So let's get that in. There we go. And then down in here, I think I can probably extend this out quite a bit. This is going to be a bigger piece of the wall. Just like that. All right. And let's also do the ceiling. We haven't done that just yet. So I'm going to try and use this piece. It's a little small at the moment, but all right. And let's try and make these so they don't overlap that way. A little bit of a taller ceiling, maybe. Yeah, we'll just try and keep it like that. What's nice about this kind of grid material that comes with Unreal is that it's is like world position, kind of like a projection type of material. So you can like scale this mesh up or down, and it's still going to be applied. This grid is pretty useful. All right, so let's I'm gonna use this one again, but I'm just gonna so that I can like rotate it like this. Bring it to about that point. And then from here, try to make it a little bit taller on that section. Then this piece, just gonna pull it in a little bit, like have it a little bit like an overhang. Pull this down. I'm gonna try and match it with this wall here, and then we'll kind of drop the ceiling. So what that should give us, in my view, is the ability to put a maybe like I have over on this end, some of these like kind of like a ventilation type of thing. And all right, let me adjust this because it's kind of coming into this wall over here. There we go. So we're coming down through here, around the corner, walking down. There's like a little bit of an opening area here where we can also add like a door for a maintenance closet or things like that. So now that we had this open space here, let's kind of close it. And then we'll tighten up a little bit on the, no, I didn't want it to go that way. So we'll bring it to about here. And this one, let's just put it up against the wall. There we go. And like I said, let's just drop the ceiling going forward. So now it's just really going to be like a tunnel the rest of the way. So I wanted to add this kind of slightly different area here, so it's not all just a tunnel. And we'll try and add a couple more varieties along the way. All right, so there we go. We have that. Then this guy. I think we can make this even longer. Let's see how far that one is. All right, so we're coming down here. This one goes over there. Then we have the ceiling. And then the ceiling drops. And then we still got a little bit of a ways to walk all the way up to here. And this is where I'm gonna need to do some a little bit of readjustment, because you're gonna be able to enter on one of these levels. But what I need to do is, and I can show you where I plan to link this, and it would be through one of those. Maybe I'll either move kind of the pantry area down, or um, like down to the level below it, like probably down here or above it. Though above it, there's no, I haven't put any levels on there. So, but yeah, the entrance would be through one of these doors. Graham, do you export them UV5 meshes out of Blender and remake them? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do that. I do that quite a lot. Like especially with assets that I purchased off of the marketplace. With quite a few of them, I end up exporting them to Blender, tweak them, and then bring them back into Unreal. All right, so let's see. I think one thing that I wanted to add as a kind of as a variety type of thing. Um, this would be here, and it'd be kind of just angling this down. It'd be like kind of a low point, like a collection type of area. And you know, that could be a good opportunity to put like a puddle or something like that, like some pipes, some collection, like you know, water collection type of things. You know, this being on the ground, it could be, you know, water running down, so that would be something interesting to add. You know, so this slopes down a little bit. There we go. Let's just make sure that these are contacting the ground. All right, so we're gonna close in on this area where we're gonna have to cut an opening in the terrain. But now that we have this, let's just duplicate it and then flip it back to its position. Let's see, this one I went to 85. This one, I think, what would it be, like 95? No, 85. There we go. So like I said, you know, down here could be some, like a kind of a grate with some pipes underneath. All right, so we're kind of coming through into this area. And for now, I'm just gonna duplicate these. And I'm gonna add a little bit of a bend, not a bend, but let's actually just use this one. So like the tunnel takes a little bit of a turn. Let's do it. Let's see how this is turning out. But I wanted to look at around. So I kind of wanted to bring it to around this point here. So let me go in to this level. And oh, I thought I went in to edit, but all right, so I'm just going to delete this wall for now, just so that I have a point of reference kind of where I want to end. All right. And see, there's a little bit of a ways to climb, but I think we can manage. All right, so this would be the point where I want the tunnel to come into. And I think I might be able to steal a little bit of a, let me see, where did I put that? There we go. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this stuff from here with some of these, some of this, just to use it as a kind of a climbing a couple of levels maybe. And one of these supports, one of these guys, one of this, one of this. All right, so let's copy that. And down to here. So now we can have a little bit of a system where we can climb, right? And just to kind of make it so that you know, you got this vertical traversal. I'm not sure there's like a, I'm sure like somebody that is an actual level designer, there's like an actual term for this. And let's actually group. I think I can like do a regroup on this. There we go. So as we close into this area, we can make use of some of these guys and climb up a couple of levels. Let's see where we want to put it. I think that might be about where it should be. Let's try and edit this group. Let me just quickly go into unlit mode so I can select this platform a little bit easier. There we go. I can't wait to try and navigate around this, see how it turns out. And I think it's at about where it needs to be. Hopefully navigating it will work as I hope it would. But there we go. So we have this, and I think we can add another level. Let's lock this back up. And with this guy, actually, what did I want to do? Like bring this up to here. And I think we can end on this platform. Let's make sure this one is in place. That almost looks good. There we go. So let's unlock this. I'm not gonna need this piece. Yeah, as in the following group. Yeah, I know. This one. I think I'm gonna be able to delete the platform. Yep. So this one can stay. Like right here. Okay. And these two support beams, I'm gonna move this right next to the railing. And then remove this one back here. And now let's try and kind of add the rest that would connect to this set of stairs here. All right, just a quick save. Let's bring this piece, cancel all the rotations, scale it back down. And since this one is going to end right at the top of the stairs, I mean, this is going to be another piece of those like metal surfaces. But for now, I'm just going to use this blocking placeholder. There we go. Kind of turn it into a platform. We'll place some walls around it. right. Let's get another one of these. And damn, we're I swear I didn't plan for this, but well, look at that. That is almost uh where it should be. Oh God, yeah. I really didn't plan for these to meet this closely. That's a fortunate turn of events. All right, so that one goes through here, down through here. Let's put an opening in the terrain here. So let's I think yeah, sculpt. Oh, thank you, Graham. Thank you so much. It'll be you know, the test is going to be how easy the player can navigate it. Okay, so we're coming from this end, and I wanted to kind of move it to the side on towards here a little bit. So you're gonna turn left a little bit, you know, coming from that way, turn right, turn left, kind of do a little bit of a zigzag. And then let's try and make the opening here. Hopefully I'm not cutting too much. And yeah, this is what I was saying, that sometimes you need the fall off to be a little bit bigger when you try to cut an opening in the terrain. Let's see. There we go. I'm not sure what happened with in 5, Unreal Engine 5. It seemed like the terrain, especially when it comes to spline sculpting, it's not as good as it was in 4. You know, there's definitely, like, see, like right now I'm trying to click and like cut an opening. I know that this is vertical, but it still doesn't work as good as it used to in Unreal Engine 4. Try and make this brush a little bit bigger. Like this part here, I'm not sure why it's not allowing me to cut an opening. I'm hoping this is enough, but yeah, especially with these. Oh, there we go. So see, that's what I meant. It's kind of it it somewhat works. Okay, luckily there isn't anything cut up top here. Let me unhide all this. And now if we're back down here, so I think the player should be able to fit through that. Um, well, okay, let's see if you are able to arrive at this end. And let me actually try and remove some of this stuff. So for example, this, I said that I wanted to move it down. So let me try and do that. Oh man, this should have I should have put these into one object or one group. This one is. So for now, I'm just gonna move it out of the way. Oh, and by the way, guys, quick question. How's the quality of the stream? Is it looking okay? Oh yeah, yeah, Graham, I was trying to put as much detail as I could. Maybe I went overboard with some of the stuff, but yeah. Um, okay, so let's do a quick test just to navigate through this, and then we'll or have some openings over here, and uh, and then we'll finish the walls, just the block out for the walls, and then set up lighting and see how that turns out. And hopefully in the next stream we'll do the kind of texturing and everything else like apply. Yeah, let's see. All right, so we're going down here, down here. I think they could be a little bit tighter. It seems a little big. Let's turn on the flashlight. All right, so you kind of come down to this lower point. There'd be some like puddles and whatnot. And then you'll kind of be walking this way. I'm not sure why the performance dropped a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of going up and down. All right, let's see. So you're climbing up, climbing up. I need to adjust the collision for those stairs. Oh yeah, so there we go. We're in here. I think the collision around here is okay. Like I said, there's like some fixes that I need to apply to these. Um, it's like the post-process volume is a little just too bright. But yeah, the player was able to navigate. I haven't had any, aside from for one point where I had to kind of just do a little bit of a mantle. It navigated really well. So now let's finish off the walls, kind of enclose these stairs here, and set up the lighting. Let's actually do this. Maybe it'll be a little bit better to see some of these things. There we go. Okay, that's good. So there's the stairs. You're going up. Put one and close this side. Okay, let's add something in here because it's dark. Let's just get some of one of these like neon lights. There we go. That's better. Wait, took a screenshot. Let's make it not flicker. There we go. All right, that's good. And let's place this one over here as well. I think that's tall, I mean, high enough. There we go. Okay. That's interesting. That's the light shining through those that uh, cut the cut in the terrain. So especially this part here, this is um, I wasn't really planning initially for, to kind of do like a bend in the tunnel, but let's see how this turns out. I just thought, let's give it a try and see, so that it's not um, just completely all straight. All right, so it ends there. Oh, I got lost. Where are you, Nemo? Oh, did I? Yeah, I guess I kind of moved off to the side a little bit, so I might need to open this up a little bit more. Sometimes when you, there you go. So that time went really easy to cut this opening. There we go. Go figure. All right, so let's do this wall over here. Okay, goes right there. Let's make sure that it's not interfering with the stairs. If possible. There we go. That is good. So you're coming around this corner here. This one I can push it back a little bit. And then going that way. Okay, that's all right. That's works. And then this piece. Yeah, whenever I have to rotate meshes to like non-90-degree angles, it's a little bit, I hope it works out. There we go. And that could be just kind of interesting because it's a little bit lower. And we could make it like this. And you're coming over here and going up the stairs. And this is your path. You know, you keep walking, walking. Oh, actually, let's go into lit mode. It might be a little bit easier to see. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's play around with you know, setting up some of the lighting in here. Oh, and yeah, one thing, I went a little too high up with this piece. There we go. Let's try and set up this wall over here. Okay, and let's do the ceiling. And let's help it out with some lighting. There we go. There will be a few things to kind of refine around here. You know, like adding some of these supports and kind of making sure that they're in the right place. But yeah, so now we're back to 90 degrees. Like that. And I kind of want to place this over here to see where I want to end up with the roof, so that it meets up with where this entrance is. I kind of have this I-beam here as a reference. We'll see if this one, just gonna keep it centered for now. Um, we'll see. Well, I'm gonna do some tests to see what might work. If I want to keep this kind of going to that point there, and then have like a corner or like a little bit of a niche corner here. And then this one. I'm going to keep that to about there. I don't know why I rotated that, but it was just the same size anyways. But this, I'm just gonna kind of bump it up against this stair here. Like that. All right, so this is almost closed off. Uh-oh. Yeah, sometimes uh it kind of over overextend it or over move it. That's not even a term, but all right. And let's try and place this here, this here. Okay, that's good. Oh, no. I wanted to hold down Alt to duplicate it. There we go. And we just need the ceiling piece for this area, or actually just let's see how we can make this here. Yeah, and with all these kind of corners could be masked with like a pylon, with like a concrete type of support that can add, a little bit of variety, I think. All right, and that one goes all the way up there. So that could work as the ceiling. And let's actually just make it bigger. There we go. Okay. So we're coming down through here. We got the stairs. This opening here is not. You don't want to fall through that. So let's cover it. There we go. $180. All right. Okay, well, I guess we got some kind of troll messages on here, which is the first time. Interesting. Um, it'd be awesome if there's that many people watching this. I am not sure. But yeah, let's see. So now we'll play a little bit with the lighting. Let's see how we can get that done. Where are we? So there's our stairs. Let's add another one of these. And I'm just going to place it probably on this side of the wall. Let's try and place a couple of them like this. Literally just mount it on the wall. There we go. Then you're coming down through here, up the stairs, and continuing going up the stairs, down through here, and then you're in there. Not sure if I should add another light at the top of the stairs. I might just keep it like that. So you're coming through here. Whoa, what just happened here? I deleted something or or this one did not extend all the way out. Maybe I didn't extend that all the way out. All right, so as I was saying, like right here could be like a little bit of a pylon. So let me show you what I mean by that. Um, Hopefully I can find it. And I know I have it somewhere. One second, I know I have it um, in this area, somewhere around here. Yeah, that's really bright. I need to fix that. Sorry for jumping around a little bit too much. Yeah, I think I know where I can find one. There we go. This is what I was looking for. And this is actually called a damage column. Okay. So back in our area here. So let's bring that in. So this is what I was kind of referring to. One of these type of columns. If I can get it to, that could work for corners, just like that. And like in areas like this. Maybe in an area like this one over here could also work. just to mask that. There we go. And yeah, it should be a little bit taller. But let's add a few more lights around here. And then we'll do a final kind of final walk around and see what we got. There we go. There's one more. There we go. That's not too shabby. I'm quite happy with that. All right, and one last one for good measure. There we go. I'm still debating, like with the flicker, it's depending on, I think the settings for Lumen, it might be a little bit taxing to have it flicker, especially when it comes to like the indirect lighting. It doesn't seem to, I think depending on the setting and how fast you do the update, it kind of works, but might be a little bit not the best of results. All right, let me do a quick view. All right, so the lighting is not lighting complexity is pretty good. That works. Let me see. Actually, what I wanted to try and do is change the color on one of these just to get it a little bit more of a warmer feel, like this. I mean, this big rock, I need to push it up a little bit. There we go. And oops, I have an opening here. Let's try and kind of close this up. And as I was saying, for some of these areas, I'm going to try and, use some of these type of like a kind of a vent cover or something similar, maybe some pipes. I'll do some prototyping, and for our next stream, we'll work on or on this area. So something like this could work. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you'd be coming down through here, going up the stairs. Yeah, let's jump into game mode and see what this stream yielded for a result. All right, there we go. So let's walk towards that area. There we go. Yeah, I kind of like the contrast between, having this one a little bit warmer and this one a little cooler down here. I might make these corridors a little tighter, especially here. I'm not sure. I mean, it feels a little too big for a service corridor. Maybe the ceilings might be, especially here, might be a little too high. Yeah, see, like right here is where like the performance drops. So I'm gonna need to figure out what this is, but let's go up the stairs. Yeah, I need to fix the collision for these stairs because they are, just not. It makes the player kind of, the camera kind of jumping up and down. And I need to put something here, so you don't see into the map. And then you kind of you climb up here. Hmm, there is a little bit of a issue with the collision there that I had to jump up. All right, and you're here. Okay, well, I think that was a pretty productive stream. Uh, I've at least everything that I was planning for, we managed to do, guys. So that should provide with a pretty cool little exploration area to walk through. And yeah, for next stream, I'm going uh, to not be around the next couple of weekends. So I hope to see you guys in 3 weeks. And yeah, everybody celebrating Easter next week, or if you've already done it, or after that. I hope you have a great one. But until then, guys, have a great rest of your day, night, morning, and also a great week coming up. And I'll see you, like I said, so not next week, not the week after that, but in three weekends. Hopefully with a little bit more done. And yeah, hope to see you then. Until then, take care, everybody. Have a great one. Graham, everybody else, thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, there was a good session. There was some good stuff that I got to work on. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Take care.